Friends, Assalamu alaikum. It is class 12th subject economics. Today we are going to discuss about the saving function. In previous lecture we have studied about the consumption function. When we talk about this saving function, we know that y is equal to c plus s. Y means income and c means consumed and s means saved. So imply that income is either consumed or saved. The function relationship between s and y is called saving. So dear students, y is equal to c plus s. C plus s, where this y is income, c is consumed and s is saving. Once c function is specified, s function can easily be derived out of it, because c and s are the only two components of income, and because both c and s are determined by income, let us get back to the tabular presentation of consumed function and saving and see how saving function can be derived out of it. First of all, this table shows the consumed function, C function. Table is y income in rupees, and this is c consumed in consumption in rupees. Income is 0, consumption is 20. Income is 50, consumption is 60. Income is 100, consumption is 100. Income is 150, consumption is 140. So when we talk about the saving function, it is y in rupees, income in rupees, and this is saving. Saving is equal to income minus consumption in rupees. So when income is 0 and this consumption or saving is minus 20, because it is equal to 0 minus 20, that is equal to minus 20. And when income is 50, that is equal to, saving is equal to minus 10, because 50 minus 60, that is equal to minus 10. And when this income is 100, saving is 0, because income is 100, consumption is 100, that is equal to 0. And when this income is 150, saving is plus 10, because 150 minus 140, that is equal to plus 10. Dear students, the saving function as specified in table, in this table, reveals that s is equal to minus 20, saving is equal to minus 20 when income is 0. This is because consumption is 20. This is because consumption is 20. We know that c plus s, consumption plus saving, is equal to income. So that consumption is equal to 20 and income is equal to 0. Then saving must be minus 10. As increases, this saving increases. This saving increases from minus 20 to minus 10 to 0 to plus 10. As income increases from 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150, implies that saving is positively related to income. And we know that this saving remains lower than income. Unlike consumption, saving is never greater than income. It is always a part of it. Now the graphic representation. By graphic representation, we know that diagrammatically saving function can be obtained by plotting the y minus c data set as by the table, shows diagram representation of saving function. Here this is y-axis and this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and here it is 0 and here it is minus 10, minus 20, minus 20, and this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, and so on and so on. And you know that this saving is measured on y-axis. Saving is measured on y-axis. Saving. This saving is measured on y-axis, and this income is measured on x-axis. And you know that this is 50, 100, 150. So, dear friends, it offers the following observation. Number one is when the income is 0, then the saving is minus 20. When the saving is minus 20, and when income is 100 and saving is 0, so here, and when income is 150 and this saving is 10, so dear friends, it is here, and this is the line of saving. This is the line of this is the curve of saving. So S line starts from minus 20 on y-axis. It indicates the value of S when y is equal to 0. It must correspond to minimum level C is equal to 20 when y is equal to 0. Number second is saving line is positively sloped, moving upward from left to right. It indicates that S is positively related to y. Higher y causes higher S. And this saving line crosses the x-axis when income is equal to 100. It indicates that saving is equal to 0. Here saving is equal to 0 and income is equal to 100. Here consumption must be equal to income, that is equal to 100. Here the consumption must equal to income. Then this 100. And saving line is a straight line pointing to its constant slope. It indicates that saving function is a linear function. As regards the slope of saving line, it is indicated by the ratio between delta S additional saving and this delta Y is additional income. This is called MPS. Marginal propensity to save. MPS may also be measured as under. Here you have to write that MPS is equal to 1 minus MPS. MPS, marginal propensity to save. This is because delta C upon delta Y plus delta S upon delta Y is equal to delta Y upon delta Y, and that is equal to 1. And this MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. Because income is equal to consumption plus saving. It implies that delta C plus delta S is equal to delta Why? Important it is note that the context of the slope of the consumption line, we should focus only on MPS, marginal propensity to save. And you know here that the slope of saving line, that is equal to delta S by delta Y. This delta S means delta saving. This means additional saving upon additional income, that is equal to 10 by 50, and that is equal to 0.2. 0.2 means 20. So 0.20. When we observe this diagrammatical representation of saving function, we know that the saving line starts from -20. This is because income is equal to 0 and consumption is equal to 20. This saving line saving must be equal to -20. Saving line crosses x-axis when income is equal to 100. Here saving is equal to 0 because income is equal to consumption is equal to 100. And the saving line is a straight line indicating it to be a linear function. It shows constant slope. So we have to represent more data on through this diagrammatical representation, and in my next lecture. Thank you very much.